Terraria is what's classified as an open-world survival craft, a sandbox, and a survival game. But as a professional in this field, I can confirm that Terraria is a drug trip. In this wonderful game we have mining,
A crafting table?
Dark Souls level combat, and children. What we also have is a selection of game difficulties, of which include baby mode, extra boss loot, and pain! Before I give the green light to enter the dumbest video on YouTube, I must explain that Terraria has 4 unique classes, of which include a farmer and all his animals, Gandalf, the Fool, Guts, and the average American citizen. And in today's episode of Minecraft, we're gonna play through the entire game on Master Mode using only guns. You may call me stupid, but I'm gonna finish Terraria's hardest difficulty using only the might of the USA! So join me in the wonderful world of Terraria Master Mode, where living is optional.
Oh my god, I'm blooming! Oh my god!
So we begin by cutting a tree, dying, finding a sandstorm in a bottle, nearly dying again. So, because the world of Master Mode Terraria is as dangerous as your average back alley in London, we will need to achieve a couple of goals before we do anything else. First, we need to get the gap accessories in order to look like a lizard and completely skibidi while also being quite fantastic. Second, we must build a crack house where any NPC that decides to live there will therefore forfeit their human rights and will work like kids for the diamonds. In Minecraft, of course. And third, we must plunder any booty we see in order to get enough money moolah to buy ourselves a mini shark, or as some would call it, a baby shark. The astute viewers among you already saw that in the background of this Barbie movie 2023 trademark, I was already collecting wood in order to build our crack dome. And as punishment for those viewers, here's a building montage. And with that, our building montage is complete. Right below our penthouse we find a chair in the cave. Now, dear viewer, I must admit to you that I am a dirty cheater. In this America's speedrun, I have sadly used the bow at the beginning of our playthrough, as shown here. And for that I say, it's all alright, moving on. Along the way of this adventure, we find our first accessory and our first gun, which will be completely unused in this recording, as I bought a mini shark off cam. We also built another house, which turned out great. Oh, and we also found Hermes boots. And now, dear viewer, we will have our first boss fight. Oh, by the way, ignore this text, it's not important. Okay, what the fuck? Listen, this montage already took me like an hour to make. I'm not doing another one. And that's it, the boss is done. I also tried to find wings in the Skylands, but it doesn't go as planned. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck! Okay, I must explain that there is footage 40 minutes long of me trying and failing to find an extractorator to craft a fossil armor. And I'm pissed off about it. Like, come on! After having my insides burst harder than any live leak video, I think it's time to dish it back, even though it's gonna be a little hard. This motherfucker is just one big boner. Now, we can partake in dungeoning. The dragoning will come later. For the confused viewers among you, I must explain that the dungeon in Terraria is a labyrinth full of traps, spikes, and your average food hater. All my homies hate food-looking ass. Because of the claustrophobic shape of the dungeon, it can put your life at risk. It can grind you to the bone. It can But in all seriousness, the dungeon is a very dangerous place, which is why it has cool loot in it. Of course, only after you've played about 80% of the game though. But for now, we're milking the dungeon dry to get materials for our first actual set, which we will use in our next boss fight. That was a nice segue. After a triumphant victory against a Walt Disney decapitated brain, we are allowed to proceed to the next stage of progression. In order to do that, we will drink some carbonated poop water and dive headfirst into lava, in order to mine hellstone ore, which will be used for our next pickaxe, which will be needed in hard mode. After we do that, we must take preparations for our next and last foe, the Wall of Fresh. The Wall of Fresh is a screen-wide enemy that will chase us until the end of the world. Literally, this boss fight takes place in hell, where lava isn't a privilege, it's a necessity, and in order to not become a fried chicken, we must build a bridge. When you build this bridge, you have to struggle with endless enemies that will make your life a living hell. But still, no greater pleasure than killing an imp and seeing this. Yes! After the bridge is done, we must fight the wall. This battle consists in balancing damage between his worms, his main 3 parts of the boss, and his minions that he constantly spawns. All that while trying not to get hit by— oh, we're dead. Because of this insane challenge that I have put myself, I sadly do not have access to any piercing weapons that will allow me to hit more enemies at once. An ability that is crucial in the defeat of this boss. Except I have one. The Star Cannon. The Star Cannon is a weapon that uses fallen stars in order to deal massive amounts of damage. The downside of this weapon being the ammo that you need. Fallen stars only fall at night and are very annoying to get, getting about 30-40 a night, and we will need 200 of them, which is why I've been farming them. As a last measure, we upgrade all our accessories. And we reforged them as well. Now, after all the preparations, the Wall of Fresh is ready to be spawned and will finally be killed! And that is it. Pre-hard mode is finally done. Our next part in this bizarre adventure awaits and can't come soon enough. If you want it to come sooner, subscribe to my page, subscribe to my YouTube.